I remember as a carrier rep 20 years ago when I first started in the industry, I'd walk into agents' offices, they didn't want to see me because I was an MGA guy. Nowadays, they're clamoring to get some of those MGA people in the door, and they're wanting to write more of the E&S. And the commission structures are better, and some of the things are going on. Do you see that continuing?
I do. I only because I think the market has grown for reasons. The market has always grown in terms of coverages and opportunities and new risks.
Sure.
But what else has changed is the market and the players in the market are much more mature.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the VIP podcast. Welcome to another episode of us being here live at our sales kickoff event in Denver, where we've got all of our salespeople together, marketing teams, everything. We're all here, we're all hanging out, and we're all growing and learning so much. And we got so much going on this year that we're introducing. And I know you've been hearing about some of these things, and we're going to be breaking these things down throughout this season. So make sure you hit subscribe on the YouTube channel. Make sure you go wherever you listen and hit subscribe there, because we're going to be talking all things Agency One. We're going to be talking about all things Accelerate. We're going to be getting into all kinds of really fun stuff. And we're also going to be interviewing quite a few of our Orange partners, which is what we're doing today here live. Because I saw Mike here. He looked like a fun guy to talk to, so I thought, let's bring Mike. So Mike, thank you so much for joining us. Tell Mike Roy, tell him, what's your name, who you with?
Yeah, Mike, I'm happy to be here, first of all. Mike Roy with Dark Matter InsurTech, and proud to be an Orange partner.
And so, first of all, I noticed you just said, so that's part of the title, InsurTech?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're specifically for the insurance industry.
Correct, yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Focused almost primarily right now on the MGA space.
Okay, I got to ask you, before we get too deep in anything, I got to ask you a quick question. Are you a Pepsi guy or a Coke guy?
Coke.
Coke, all the way.
No question.
And why is that? Just
taste, quality, experience, yeah.
Okay, now let me ask you this. When you go to a restaurant and you order a drink, do you order a pop, a Coke? Do you order a soft drink? How do you order that?
Manhattan, usually.
I like that.
Yeah.
There you go.
But if it's past 11 o'clock, usually Manhattan. But otherwise, I'll go for a Diet Coke. If they say we have Pepsi, is that okay? I'll say I'll have some water.
Right?
Yeah.
In some parts of the country, people say a pop.
Yeah.
Or they'll say, everything's a Coke to me.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Coke is a generic term.
Yeah.
What kind of Coke would you like?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll have Dr. Pepper. Right.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that. Not pop, I grew up kind of in a lot of different places growing up, so never really picked up on pop. But Coke to me is everything.
Yeah, I never got in the sody pop or the soda or all those kind of things. I never got into that. I've always just been Coke for everything. And I love it when they dive deeper. And I'm like you. If they say we only have Pepsi, I'm like, I'll have water.
I'll pass, yeah.
Unless I'm at Waffle House, I'm not getting no tap water. Jeez. But anyway, I do love Waffle House, for those I may have offended. But, okay, so first of all, again, thank you. As we mentioned, we're here at the event here. This is your second year now at the event. And I remember last year after this event, we asked you to do a webinar with us, and you got involved with some other things. So obviously you're catching some traction.
Absolutely.
So talk to me a little bit about that.
Oh, that was fantastic. I mean, we, with Kelly Mayhew and Teresa Chia, did something on the MGA market that was very well received. It was a lot of fun, reached a very big audience, and it was great exposure for us. It really was.
Yeah, it should have been. Those two big names in our company. So
I was a little
to do your
nervous.
first event?
Yeah. It's exciting. It's exciting. We really enjoyed that.
Both great individuals, both carry a big name around here, but it just shows what you're doing is resonating, with some of our top executives and with some of our clients as well.
Absolutely, yeah. It went over really well. It was great content. It was very well run, and it was great stuff.
So tell me, because I have no clue. Being real honest with you, the audience, I don't know. I didn't find anything about Dark Matter until yesterday over a Manhattan, actually over a drink though. But can you tell the audience what is Dark Matter? Why'd you choose the name Dark Matter? Because I'm thinking like Dark Web, and I'm thinking this is crazy. But talk to me a little bit about what Dark Matter is and how you came up with that and what they do, and maybe why the audience should be interested.
Yeah, absolutely. So Dark Matter is a data connectivity vendor. We connect systems together, right? So we started about 5 years ago focusing on the MGA space to solve a big problem, which was data flow. There's so many platforms that they have to use in the space.
Sure.
Their management system, raters, comparative raters, carrier portals, and none of those have seamless connectivity between them. So that's what we do.
Okay.
So we allow Vertafore customers to move data around between all of those systems, so they don't have to rekey anything.
Okay.
So they can do things faster. They can mitigate E&O, and they get the quote back faster to their retail agents and with less errors.
So what about, and I come from MGA world and also worked in an agency. So many of these different carriers, they don't have their accords, but they all have their own supplemental forms.
They do. Yeah.
What do you do about those supplemental forms, and is there a way you're making that easier for the end user?
Absolutely. So we work with all the major specialty carriers in the MGA space, and we have taken their data endpoints and their payloads, and we've mapped them to our own standard, and we've done our own normalization of that data. And that way we can have it flow seamlessly and in real time into Vertafore platforms like AIM and MGA systems. And so that's work we've done really on behalf of your customers and the carriers. They have to have that non-standard data in order to have the freedom of rate and form in E&S and to create products that act as a backstop to the standard line space. So they can't really adopt a data standard, so we adapt to theirs.
And so it's always been, at least as long as I've been at 22 years now, kind of the wild, wild west is E&S. And you've worked in this space. You've mentioned some names earlier to me beforehand. And I've worked for some pretty large MGA space brokers and whatnot. Now that we're even deeper into the hard market, I still don't think we're coming out of it anytime soon. And E&S and MGA is a little more prevalent. Has that changed the way you're doing things? Is that, more why you're more relevant in what you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could say I timed, the growth and everything, but but I was going to do this anyway. I feel that strongly about how needed data flow is in the industry and how important it is. As a CIO for 3 of the largest intermediary platforms, it was always something I wanted to solve. And was not able to, and starting Dark Matter allowed me to do that. And by the way, Dark Matter got its name from the concept that we don't.
There it was. Okay, I was waiting on it. I was waiting on it.
Yeah, that we don't build additional front end, right? Your customers using your platforms, they have plenty of places that they have to go to place business. Again, like I said, carrier portals, raters, comparative raters, and so it was important to us that we not give them some other place they have to go. We simply connect them all together and let them decide what order they want to go to them in and how they want the data to flow. And so because we're behind the scenes, bringing all of those disparate systems together, that's why we call the company Dark Matter. I
gotcha. Is there any comparison out there to like an Ivans for agency side of things?
Maybe. I guess, we do things a little more real time, a little more direct ingestion, not file based.
Okay.
But I think there are some similarities there. But we're the only ones doing it within the E&S space.
Sure.
We actually connect systems that are in E&S together.
Now, just an industry question in general. Do you feel like because there's so much business written in E&S and in MGA space that 2 years ago would have been written by a standard carrier.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's no longer maybe the Wild Wild West, and maybe it's more of a norm? I remember as a carrier rep 20 years ago when I first started in the industry, I'd walk into agents' offices, they didn't want to see me because I was an MGA guy. Nowadays, they're clamoring to get some of those MGA people in the door, and they're wanting to write more of the E&S. And the commission structures are better, and some of the things are going on. Do you see that continuing?
I do. I only because I think the market has grown for reasons. The market has always grown in terms of coverages and opportunities and new risks.
Sure.
But what else has changed is the market and the players in the market are much more mature. They have much better technology. They have much better policies and processes and procedures that they're following. Even for the very large shops, you used to be able to say that if you were small or medium, you could outperform some of the larger shops, but I don't know that is true today. And so there's much more predictability when something comes in and out of the market. There's much better service, And there's so many great options and so much expertise in the space that I think it will continue to grow for that reason alone.
Well, and do you also see on the flip side that more standard markets getting into the E&S space?
Yeah, almost all of the carriers that we deal with are divisions of standard lines carriers.
I guarantee it, yeah.
But at the same time, we're seeing a lot of new specialty carriers pop up and be created, and some more like MGUs, but some are actually new de novo, carriers popping into the space because people need capacity and they need partnerships, and the MGAs are great distribution partners.
Sure, and
I actually wanted to ask, like, how hard is it now? Because MGA is such a rapidly changing environment.
Yeah.
How hard is it for you guys to keep up with that? I mean, this is like an ongoing thing?
Yeah. So I'll give you a great example. The carriers, as they changed their rate and everything around their rating basis and their factors and everything, they do all that behind the scenes and in their portals. And we work very closely with the carriers if they make any changes to their data set or their endpoint, and we've got that down pretty well. So it does require maintenance, and we stay very close to our carrier partners, but they're the ones pulling all the levers behind the curtain, and we're the one just creating the data exchange for
I was
them.
gonna say, you guys are doing all the hard work.
Well, I'd like to. Yes, go on. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah. But it's very well received for the carriers as well to partner with us because it removes a lot of transactional friction with their MGA distribution partners and makes it easier for them to write more with those carriers.
so if I've got an agency principal or a producer, a servicer, maybe it's a CSR, an account manager, an agency listening right now, what should be running through their mind right now? Like, why should they care? I shouldn't say it that way, but
I understand.
what should perk their interest right now in what you're doing with these? Like, how's it helping them on a day-to-day? Yeah, shameless plug time.
Shameless plug. Accelerate 2025 is rolling into Charlotte.
I see what you did there. Rolling into Charlotte.
Rolling
I like
into
that.
Charlotte. The theme this year,
Yeah.
if you didn't already guess,
Give it to me.
Accelerate towards success, because NASCAR Hall of Fame is located in Charlotte.
Heck
We're going to
yeah.
be there May 6th through the 9th.
Yes.
You need to sign up now.
Yep.
Time is running out.
In Charlotte, we're bringing you into the tech hub for champions. Close your eyes, picture it, surrounded by the latest InsurTech, live demos, hands-on environment where you can test drive. See what I did there? Test drive the Vertafore's newest tools and upgrades. Whether you're looking to supercharge your agency.
Maybe you don't want to do it with your eyes closed. You told them to close their eyes.
Oh, that's true. If you're driving right now or running on a treadmill, open your eyes.
Yeah, open your eyes.
Tighten up your tech game, optimize your distribution management. This is where you're going to find your edge.
And
Drum roll.
the speaker this year, our main stage keynote speaker,
Uh-oh.
Olympic gold medalist,
Uh-oh.
Michael Phelps.
No! That's incredible. So if you're ready to put your business on the fast track to success, join us in May in Charlotte, Accelerate 2025, and get ready to shift your agency into high gear.
Yeah, no, it's a great question because I think.
Thanks you for saving me there.
Yeah, well, no, I get it. I get it, right? Because we're with all your agency group here, right? If a retail agency is doing business with an intermediary, an E&S MGA, who's on a Vertafore platform and is using Dark Matter, they're going to see a significant increase in the responsiveness of that submission, turned around into a quote, multiple quote options, and the delivery of that back faster than somebody who's not doing that. It's going to come back with less errors, more carriers, and you're going to see much higher levels of service and much higher quality of the service. We're starting now to expand into, well, if we're downloading all this great carrier data into a Vertafore platform, why can't we take it and deliver it back to the retailer and enrich their systems and where they don't have to rekey anything? And the mechanism to do that already exists. And that's going to be a great expansion area for us as an Orange partner.
Yeah, and it's great you said that. Yesterday, we've been having all these sessions all week long in the main stage, and they had a session yesterday morning, I believe. I'm getting my days mixed up. We've been here for a long time, it feels like. But there was a session where we had some of our agency partners up on stage, and we had a panel discussion. And it seems like every answer to the question, whatever the question was speed.
Yeah.
Everybody wants faster, faster turnaround, faster quotes. Their clients are wanting faster turnaround. And so, what you're saying right now is just resonating what we heard 2 days ago.
I think connectivity is the key to that, and it's not anything that's ever been offered within the E&S space. And so we're lucky that we have a lot of traction and a lot of great friends in the space, and we're partners with great companies like Vertafore, and all the pieces are there to leverage it to the benefit of your entire agency base.
And so I know right now that connectivity is really focused on MGA space and that E&S space. Is there an expansion in the future that you see of, or is there anything you could give us, or are you just getting deeper into that space, or give me some exclusive nobody else knows yet?
I mean, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Agency management systems that are used by retailers, we have a platform that creates connectivity on a scalable, secure way. And there's no reason why we couldn't apply it
Sure.
to those systems directly because of my experience in the E&S space, and because of my team's experience in the E&S space, and because of the complete lack of any other type of solution. That's why we started there.
Sure.
But as we move out in concentric circles, there's no reason why we couldn't bring some of our capabilities to retail.
Sure.
So I'm kind of curious now, because there's a lot of sort of predictive things that happen with you. Like, is there anything in the industry right now that you're seeing as like maybe a trend or something that's going to what people need to be looking out for, especially with some of the disasters we've had happen, natural disasters and such? Is there something that you could say, I sort of can predict the future here?
Let me be honest and say no. In other words, we're not, as we facilitate data integration, we're not aggregating all of this data, and we're not doing any type of analysis on the data, right, to the benefit of us being in a position to do something like that. And that's very key to our strategy. Our customers would not like that, right? However, we're putting our customers in a position to have fully detailed risk level data with every single quote, binder, and policy that they do, and we're trying to put them in a position to be able to answer those kinds of questions so they can manage and grow their business.
Does it get to a place with what you're doing to where there could be some direct to consumer, or direct to, so if I want to get a quote for an E&S quote, and you've got this connectivity where they could, an agency could have it on there as a landing page, and they could go on, E&S could now get quotes from you. From that, not you, but from
the connectivity that we
the
provide.
connectivity you provide.
Yeah, we do a lot of that now. A lot of our
Okay, good.
Yeah, a lot of our customers build, some front end that faces their retailers, and in some cases, like in direct bill, it might actually face the insured if they're marketing.
Sure.
Yeah, if they're marketing to like an affinity group, or if it's some type of risk purchasing group. And we facilitate data flow from those front end systems that sometimes go all the way to the insured, that can come back and flow into the MGA system. So yeah, we've kind of touched all parts of the distribution chain.
Yeah, and again, I don't, anybody think that I'm advocating for us to replace humans with that. I'm just saying, it might be really neat for someone to be able to at least get an indication or some sort of quote on someone as a landing page on their website.
Absolutely.
So
It's more about 24/7 self-service than it is replacing
Sure.
people. It's more about availability, and our integrations can help do that, from submission intake to indications to carrier quotes, and to even servicing.
Which is perfectly, aligned with what we want to do at Vertafore. We want to have that 24/7 access to them. We want to be able to have people serviced a lot better and easier. So you're running right alongside us on that, and we, obviously we appreciate that. So quick question, put you on the spot here, because you've been in the E&S space a long time. What is the craziest thing you've seen come across your desk?
Well, I didn't act as an underwriter, okay, so I wasn't looking at risks.
Right.
And having said that,
But you got to have some stories, though.
well, I mean, there's all kinds of crazy stuff that happens in E&S, and whether it's a singer's, catalog, or it's an athlete's body part, or
Yep.
satellite launches, and I can't think of a single instance now, but when I was in it, I would always hear those kind of crazy stories about the types of accounts those guys were working on, and it was amazing, really, just amazing at the level of expertise that it requires to write some of this stuff. And I'm sorry, I don't have a quick
No, you're
answer
fine.
for you.
I had an opportunity to be involved in a transaction where we insured the Dead Sea Scrolls to fly from LaGuardia
That's awesome.
overseas.
That's awesome.
And talk about the red tape and trying to put a value
Right.
on the Dead Sea Scrolls was ridiculous, and so we had a tough time with that one. But obviously, had to go through E&S. But
I'm going to think of a bunch of examples as soon
as soon as you lay down, I get
that
it.
would have been nice, but I'm kidding. But,
No, I get it.
But that's kind of when people think of the space and they think of Lloyd's, so they think of those kinds of things.
Sure.
But it's a lot more than that. I mean, it's a lot of small commercial. It's a lot of personal lines.
Well, that's why I was asking you things earlier, because I can think of several off the top. Like hotels, for example, was written by standard markets for 100 years. Off and on, and now they won't touch them because there's so much property involved, and with wildfires and tornadoes and hurricanes and hail, and so I mean, there's so many examples. And then even if you've got a very good risk that maybe you just had a couple hiccups, a few claims, they're coming straight to you. You know, E&S. I say you straight to the E&S world. And you're connecting them to those carriers.
Well, to your point earlier, I also think standard lines carriers, are okay making those decisions to protect their own books, right?
Sure.
And they know that it's going to be covered because the E&S market is there,
100%,
and they're going to take care of it, and they have the expertise to do it. And a lot of times, it's going to flow to their own specialty division.
So, Mike, if people wanted to find out more, whether they're an MGA listening, or an agency listening, anything like that. Is there a website they can go to? Is there LinkedIn they could find you?
Find me on LinkedIn or darkmatterins.com.
Dark Matter INS. Any other things that we left out or we missed? I know we had a quick session here, but there's so much you guys are doing. I want to make sure we at least give you an opportunity to.
No, I appreciate that. I think we hit on everything. It's just exciting to be here, and there's a lot of energy about you guys are growing even in the MGA space now.
We love it.
Bought MGA systems and
Surefire.
Surefire, and so everybody's fired up about this year and really attacking the E&S space, and so we've got a really good partnership, and that's all I'd add.
Man, we really appreciate you being a part of that and being here with us.
So I guess the moral of the story is Dark Matter does all the hard work for you, and you go have Manhattan.
I like it.
There you go.
I like it.
I do like that. I like that a lot.
Changing my tagline now.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you for being here, hanging out with me and Mike today. And if you enjoyed what you heard, or if you didn't, go and subscribe and give us a 5-star review. And go to darkmatterins.com and go find him on LinkedIn and follow him. And ask questions, get involved, engage with Mike, engage with us. And if you have any ideas for guests, or if you have any ideas for subjects, have ideas for anything like that, reach out to me, reach out to the show, or make a comment, something like that. And also in the comments, let us know if you're a Coke or Pepsi guy or girl. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next one.